Hey folks, I'm Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at a disappointment. This is my video review of Transformers Age of the Prime's Solus Prime. And boy howdy, did Hasbro make a lemon. Now, I will first admit that the overall look of Solus Prime is quite good. I do appreciate the artisan smock they have going here in the front. That is something that blacksmiths actually wear. The purple works well, the gray works well, and I love the absolute heck out of this head sculpt. It is gorgeous, and those eyes are perfect. I love the green. It's definitely a Prime. She has the antenna that Optimus has, and the crest works well on the front of the head. It's a very striking looking figure. It is. It looks good. I just wish it held together well. Poseability, head is on a ball joint, can look down, can look all the way up. Oop, that unpegged itself for some reason. Mine head doesn't stay pegged in. Shoulder pads are movable on their own, which is good. Then there is a swivel and a hinge in the shoulder, swivel at the bicep, and then, or just above the elbow, almost 90-degree bend at the fist. Almost 90-degree bend at the elbow. Fists are on ball joints and do articulate. There is a torso swivel, but you have to be careful because it'll hit the backpack sometimes. And the front skirt does not swivel in the least bit, though it does have the ability to kind of split apart into a 3-prong attack if you want. So you could kind of skewer some baddies that way. That does work. Then there is a kick or swivel forward, hinge out, which is ratcheted, swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee is over 90 degrees. Then there is an ankle swivel and a foot pivot or foot rocker, ankle rocker thing that goes over 90 degrees. The figure comes with 3 different parts that form the hammer accessory. We have this little part back here that looks more like a fire hydrant that'll plug into the base. And then we have the top of the hammer with her symbol right on top that will plug into the handle like that. So we get the hammer, and then you can flip out this little peg in the back that will allow her to mount the hammer onto her back. And by back, I mean her butt. So yeah, I mean, it works, but it looks really weird, but I get why they did this. Because, well, I mean, if it was up here, it would look really dumb in vehicle mode. Robot mode, I don't have any problems with the way the figure looks. It actually looks really good, but when you handle it, it feels cheap. It feels really odd and strangely light. Prime, however, feels solid and does not feel cheap in the least bit. It feels like that this figure is made from completely different plastic than Prime. It's just so odd. Now, some of the issues that I have with this in robot mode are, 1, the backpack will not stay pegged in. No matter how tough and how tight you peg it in, it'll just pop right out. The head, as you saw, will not peg into place. On my figure, there are these panels that are used to cover up something in vehicle mode. Well, the panel on the right arm, as soon as I moved it, it snapped in half. It just snapped in half and cannot be used anymore. And it specifically snapped right along this line. So it snapped right there, and this little part of the hinge was broken off. So it split into 2 pieces. Yeah, that I can't repair that. And then the shoulder pads. Oh, dear God, the shoulder pads. 1, there is this panel here used for the transformation. These little panels pop off so freaking easily. And then the shoulder pads themselves pop off incredibly easily, and getting them back on is an act of God. It took me 15 to 20 minutes to get the shoulder pads back on, because they're double hinged. There's a hinge right here at the shoulder, and then there's a hinge right inside the shoulder pad. I never want to have these things pop off again. I just don't. It was a nightmare. Now, every time I pick up Solus Prime, I think that she's small, but she's not. She's just lacking bulk. She's not as bulky or as filled out as some of the other Transformers that I own. All right, transformation. I hate this so much. To start off with, fold these pieces of the skirt forward, take the middle section and turn it 180 degrees, slide it in between them, and then turn it back. So essentially what we want to have is the middle piece sitting on top of the other two pieces. Take the arms, fold them out, and then you're supposed to open up the panels and open them up. And oh yeah, these things pop off super easily, but they do go back on easily. Then fold the fists up into the forearms, like so. Grab the backpack and open up the backpack, and we want to pull the backpack as far away from the body as it'll let us, and then flip up this grill, take the head and drop the head into the back, and then just kind of put the grill up and over where the head was, and it'll just rest there. It will not peg in, even though there's a peg hole right there, which is just weird. All right, now come down to the legs and take the toes and fold the toes all the way forward. Dang nabbit, it popped off. Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay. Essentially what we want is to take the wheels and bring them forward like that, close up the toe, and then close the wheel again. So take the wheel, move it out of the way, fold the toe up, and it'll go up into the back of the foot. The heel will go into the back of the foot, close the toe, turn the feet so the top of the feet are facing each other, and then push the foot back into place where it came out, and then peg the feet together like this. Make sure that this is up and out of the way. Turn the hips around so that this piece is facing towards the back, and then fold the feet up and fold the toes up and the legs up until they peg into the back of the legs right there. And I've done this a couple of times, and the silver paint on the back of the legs is already scuffing, which is scary. And then get the legs lined up so that the back of the vehicle mode looks like this. And this is where my microphone decided to stop working, so you're going to get a voiceover now. To start with, flip out those panels, or just make sure that they're still flipped out, and then put the arms down to the side. And what we're going to do next is futz with the shoulders. So we're going to grab the shoulders and fold them forward so the shoulder pads are pointing to the front of what was the robot mode. And then at that point, you can then push the top down again, and it will snap into place at that point. Now, this is where the transformation gets really stupid. You see those, what were the shoulder pads? There are little panels on the inside of those that will rotate out, and then they will just snap off. Yeah. And you're seeing me get my finger in there. Yep, that's it. Right there. Right there. Just turn it. And there we go. And turn it. And as you saw, I just turned it and it snapped clean off. And then you just push it back in. That's one of the things that really irritates me about this figure. Now for the transformation, what we're going to do is take those shoulder pads and rotate them over the shoulders, and then plug in those panels that are coming off the forearms into the side of the vehicle mode. Whenever you do anything to the shoulders or to the forearms, everything else falls out of place. So if you had something else pegged in, they're just going to unpeg, and it's really freaking annoying. So this is that shoulder panel piece that I was talking about flipping over. There's a double hinge inside the shoulder pad, and you have to push the shoulder the hinge part, the main hinge part, up against and around the shoulder. And it's not actually all that intuitive until you start fiddling with it. And you see I'm pointing out where the actual hinge needs to go up and around that shoulder. And then once you get it over, it pegs into place. There was a little peg coming off the top of the shoulder that it'll peg into. And then it'll also peg into the grill right up there at the very end of the bottom of the grill. And that peg is tenuous at best. So while I'm trying to get the forearm to peg in, what you don't see is that peg at the grill coming off, and I fix it after I do the shoulders. You do the same thing on the other side, but on my copy, because I'm missing the forearm panel that literally broke off when I first tried to fiddle with it, yeah, it doesn't, it's just very fragile. Just be careful when you're transforming this thing. Oh, yeah, and then the hammer pegs into either side at the back. It looks like more like a cannon than anything else, which I'm not ashamed to admit I kind of like. The truck mode we end up with isn't bad. I don't hate it, but it just doesn't hold together well. It's not fun. It's okay looking, and it looks okay next to Prima Prime, which I just don't feel like transforming and putting next to this thing. It is smaller than Prima Prime, but it does scale to other deluxe class vehicle modes. It's not an ugly looking car, truck, crossover. I don't know what you would even call this, but it's not fun. I don't like the transformation. Robot mode I'm perfectly fine with, but this not so much. I do, however, have to admit that Grimlockamus did a much better paint job than what we have here. I wanted to love this figure. I really did, but it's not that good. It really isn't. In fact, I would say that this is a worse figure than the Studio Series Devastation Optimus Prime. That figure felt great in the hand, smooth transformation, and parts weren't falling off. This figure, parts are just falling off. And that's inexcusable, especially at $25 and like 35 Canadian? It's not fun. It's not worth the money. It's just a shame. While I was transforming the figure back, the feet fell off. Both of them. But as you can see here, the left foot is just barely starting to fall off again after putting it back on. That is the part that people are having issues with. And I forgot to show the hammer. How does it go in? You have to disassemble the hammer or pull the head off, put it up the fist, and then put the head back on. God. What else can I say, folks? This is not a good figure. It's not fun. It's not good. It doesn't hold together well. It's just a lemon. So, folks, let me know what you think of Solus Prime down in the comments. Thank you all for watching. I have been Baltmatrix, and I will catch you all next time.